We in the building. DJ Gambini, the Renaissance Man, and this is Sports Talk 101, presented to you by Country Vision Studios. We off in the building today, and we got a veteran in the house. You know, done been on the show before.
Oh yeah, nice to be back. Nice to be back.
Johnathan Jet Davis. What's going on, man?
Can't call it, man. Just cooling. Ready to talk some NBA playoffs with you
today. Yeah. Let's jump into it, cause last time the show was kind of long. I mean, you know, we don't usually go by the hour, but I had Brother Brew on there, so you know how that went. All right, let's get this show on the road. Let's start with the Sixers at Washington. They currently playing now. Washington up a couple points, but I think the series is pretty much over.
Yeah, if it ain't gonna be a sweep, that's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. I think Westbrook still hurt on it. Westbrook, I know he went out. What was it, game 3?
Yeah, and the fans threw something at him, spit on him or something. Was he the one that got spit on?
No. That was Trey Young that got spit on.
Okay.
They pulled popcorn on Westbrook.
They pulled popcorn on Westbrook.
Yeah, I believe they ended up finding the fan that did it, and basically barred him from any of the Sixers games. But I almost feel like it need to go a little further than that. Fans getting a little outrageous these days.
Yeah. Kevin Durant was saying something about that. You know, he was like, people need to grow the fuck up, you know, and realize that, you know, these NBA players, they look larger than life, but at the end of the day, they still human.
Yeah, they still human, and the thing that always come back to me is you wouldn't do any of these players when you see them in the street. You wouldn't throw popcorn on them.
Right. Yeah, somebody 6'5", 6'7", something like that. Yeah, you probably try to avoid it.
Well, the funny thing is, a lot of these people who throw the stuff on the stands and do that, they wouldn't do it to somebody, a regular sized person, let alone a 6'5" person. So
yeah,
they get bold when they get in them crowds and in them stands.
But speaking of that, the Brooklyn and the Boston series, which everybody pretty much know or assuming that Brooklyn gonna take that series, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. It may go as far as 6, but Brooklyn gonna take that too much off it.
Yeah, Brooklyn got it. Last night, the last game, the big three was shooting like 80%.
Oh yeah, I think KD, that's my favorite player, so I'm always follow KD. But KD put up like 42 points in it. You can't do that with a 6'11" dude pulling up like that.
What you think about Kyrie stepping on the Boston logo and wiping his feet on it?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think sports, like I said, sports bring the fan out of you. That's where you get the fanatic from. That's where you get fan. I think a lot of people took it a little too personal. I mean, they step on the logo the whole game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Run it up and down the court. But, I mean, I guess it was some kind of disrespect. You know, Kyrie didn't leave on the best of terms when he left Boston.
Yeah, so, he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy up there at all.
Nah, and some of the stories you hear about black athletes in particular playing in Boston, some of the things they hear, they like you when they like you, but as soon as you have one bad game, one bad day, they turn on you. So he wasn't happy he got out and looked like he got into a better place.
It was a player that played for Boston. He was saying that as a player, when he played in Boston, you know, he never had no racial slurs directed at him. But when he didn't play for Boston, he said he did.
As soon as he left, they turned on.
Right. Milwaukee, Miami. What happened to the Heat, man?
Well, I think what we saw with the Heat last year when they're making it to the finals, you know, what finals they did have with everything going on with COVID and everything. Right. I think the Heat just kind of got exposed. You know, Milwaukee had another season to go get back in the lab, kind of get Giannis some firepower around him. So I think they really just kind of showed the Heat. They weren't on the same level of it. What strikes me the most interesting though with the Heat thing is they were unwilling to trade Hero to get Harden. They said they would not move off of Tyler Hero to get James Harden. I just feel like that's too.
Like I said, but you know, it's always like one game that can make or break your career. Mm-hmm. You know, remember Dellavedova when he played alongside LeBron and had that good game in the finals. Then the Bucks paid him all that money to basically be overrated backup point guard.
Well, we've seen a lot of people who play with LeBron end up doing that. They go get a big contract with the team, but they ain't the same thing when they ain't got LeBron dishing the ball or at least drawing the attention from the defenders.
Right. Okay. Next series, New York versus Atlanta. Oh man, this one hurt me to my heart, man. I thought we was gonna put up a better fight than that.
So you rolling with the Knicks?
I
mean, I can't call it like a lot of people say. Basketball is just better when the Knicks are relevant. I don't know why, but basketball is just
it's
better.
The Mecca, baby. It's the Mecca. They play in Madison Square Garden.
I mean, that's true, but when you really boil it down to it, when was the last time the Knicks really won something?
Well, I mean, when was the last time we was really good? You know, when we had Stat and Carmelo, it was an all right team, but the actual good teams was when you had Patrick Ewing and John Starks, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, all those guys then. You know, those was the heydays. I'm talking about of my generation because the Knicks won championships back in the 70s. You know, but like I said, I was expecting a better fight. Julius Randle, last game he played good, 23, 10, and 7. But for the most part, I like to see a lot more out of him because he took a leap during the regular season.
Oh yeah, he like I said, he's one of those players. But when he left LeBron, you saw him actually kind of grow into his own when he left the Lakers. I do think that's an exciting series though, especially with Trae Young. As exciting as he makes the game with all the trash talk, kind of fans and everything involved. Like,
they shouldn't have spit on the man if they did.
No, I don't think you should ever spit on the man because spitting is a whole nother level of disrespect. Like, I think you can taunt him, talk trash back to him, even cuss him out. But,
right.
Draw the line at personal stuff, spitting on people.
Yeah, that don't make no sense, man. Somebody, like Tristan Thompson said, man, somebody spit on me, I'm following them to their highs, man.
Yeah. I done heard other folks
I ain't studying this shit about basketball no more.
I heard other folks say they'd kill for a little bit less than that, so I don't really think you spit on them. But
you don't spit on a man or you don't slap a man. That's two things I think you don't do.
You can't do. But you got to admit, though, Trae Young just being the villain of the league, if you would. No matter who he plays, everybody kind of hate him. You can see even though he's a young player, up and coming, he kind of relishes.
He good. It's not like I'm a anti-Hawks guy. I'm not, because trust me, when the Knicks out, I'll probably be rooting for them or whatever. But it's just the Knicks my team, and we just happen to be playing the Hawks now.
Oh yeah, no. It's an exciting series. Hopefully they can at least make it competitive.
Right. They should. I'm thinking they should get the next game in Madison Square Garden. All right, we back. We didn't get a chance to cut away a few technical difficulties, but like I say, Johnathan Jet Davis, this ain't his first rodeo. He's been on the show before. That year Joe Burrow and LSU took it off.
Oh yeah. Good talk, man.
Yeah, good talk. It was a pretty good show, and I think that was the first time we put Sports Talk 101 on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. I'm
glad to be a part of it. Glad to be a part of the first one.
I think now, because I think I might have did a show by myself first. I don't know. We'll look back and see. I'm trying to get y'all guys something for Christmas this year. If it ain't nothing but one of these nice KVTV mugs. Okay, the Utah Jazz versus the Memphis Grizzlies. They down 2-1 right now as we speak. While we're talking, do you think Ja Morant, who's been playing lights out, is enough to beat the Utah Jazz?
Ja might be enough to get past him this year. Of course, I still think Ja gotta get back in the lab during the offseason, get a better shot. He might be enough to get past this year, especially with Donovan Mitchell being out, missing a couple games. I know Utah held him out. I think it was game one. We're gonna see how that turned out because it seems like he might want to get up out of Utah because of that.
I don't know. They say him and Dwayne Wade big buddies, and Dwayne Wade is part of that ownership group now.
Oh yeah, but I know one thing that's always working against Utah and the OKCs and all that is that small market.
Yeah, I guess it don't be as many opportunities to do like commercials and this and that and all that and that. When we go to talking about small market,
and I think especially for basketball players in particular, yeah, they signed that first contract, they signed that extension with them, but then they could make a lot more money doing their endorsements and everything else and playing a city that could possibly compete for a championship.
Right.
We got to see how Rudy Gobert do, though, because I just got a feeling that we won't see Rudy Gobert type players in the league in the next 3 or 4 years.
Why you say that? I mean, a good defensive player, and you sound about like Shaq.
He a good defensive player, but you see the way the league going with 3-point shooting.
Right.
Being able to stretch the floor, and at times Rudy Gobert is a liability to the Jazz because you can't play him with every lineup. You can't, even though he always a top tier defender. You can't play him in every lineup against every team. So
I don't know. Rudy Gobert, I think he might end up being a defensive player of the year again this year, maybe. I don't know if they have gave him no award yet or not, but he could be the defensive player of the year. And I always think it's always room for a good big man. Even though, like you said, the floor is being stretched now, but I don't think they to the point where all 30 teams gonna have stretch 5 or stretch 4 on the floor.
That's what I'm saying. You got to find a player the caliber of Rudy Gobert to be able to put him on the floor, and even then, can't keep him on the floor all the time. So
I don't know. I think a guy his size, even though he might be a stretch a stretch five. I think Rudy Gobert still should be able to check him on the perimeter because he is a big man too, presumably. But moving on, we got Phoenix and LA. Right now they tied 2-2. What you think?
I know Anthony Davis might miss Game 5. I think it was reported today with the groin strain. He had an MRI earlier, said he might miss Game 5, might be back for Game 6. I think as long as Chris Paul can, tough it out a little bit through that shoulder injury,
right?
I think they'll be the Suns will be able to get the Lakers some scare because outside of LeBron and AD, you really ain't got a lot of names on that team. You really depend.
I don't know. It seemed to me, I was telling somebody when we was watching the game the other night, some kind of way Caldwell Pope always end up opening the damn corner.
Yeah, I mean, because LeBron sucking in when LeBron crashed the boards, LeBron sucking in the defense. But I think with Anthony Davis out, LeBron having to shoulder that load by himself at 36.
Yeah.
I don't know
so you don't think Dennis Schroeder is a good third man?
I think Dennis Schroeder is a good third man if you got your team pretty set after that third man.
The Lakers. I mean, it's gonna be excuses if Anthony Davis don't play and Phoenix can get away from him. But LA, I mean, you got to think about it. During the season, they didn't really look dominant like the year, like last year in the bubble when they won it all. And then the lineup of Anthony Davis and LeBron James really didn't play that many games together this year because Anthony Davis was out. LeBron ended up going out right before he come back. And I don't know, the Lakers, me personally, the Phoenix Suns been grinding all year. They could possibly come out of the West if they can get past the Lakers. Because, like I said, I learned to never count LeBron James out, especially when he almost beat the Golden State Warriors single-handedly with Dellavedova.
Oh, no, agree. You don't ever really want to bet against LeBron. I think if Chris Paul can hold it up, though, the Suns might be able to push it to 7 and give them a real scare. And who knows? The Suns take Game 7. If the Lakers healthy, they come back determined, have some rest. Lakers might take it, but I think it's going to be real key on whether or not Anthony Davis plays Game 5 and 6.
So you don't think LeBron can pull out a game by himself against Phoenix?
I think he can put a game on his shoulders against Phoenix, but you got to do 2 at this point now. And if you got Anthony Davis, I don't know if he can put two games like that back to back. But again, I'm not prepared to bet against LeBron on that. He's been doing it for 18 years now.
Okay, cool beans. Denver versus Portland. These two teams here, every time they play, it's a good series. I don't know what it is. Both of them well-built teams through my eyes, through what I see. I think they built pretty well, with young talent and pretty established veterans that come in and play.
Oh, yeah. Dame always going to put up numbers, of course, but then on the flip side, Dame kind of a liability on the defensive side of it. I think Denver, we're going to see where the MVP come from. It might come from Denver this year. I look at both these teams like, they always have a good series, but then they go on to lose in the next round. So it's kind of like whoever wins this one gonna fall in the next round. Anyway.
But Denver, well, in the bubble, because like I say, some people consider that a rec league championship. But in the bubble, Denver made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals.
I mean, I can kind of see why some people put an asterisk next to it. One thing I think that we downplayed all before last year, going into the playoffs, going into the bubble, was the effect of the fans in the crowd. Like, not just the noise and everything, but you got the clear lines of sight for shooting. You really don't have anything distracting. So we seen players, even not to get back on it, but Anthony Davis shooting numbers went up.
Warren, TJ Warren. Last year he was all bubble team.
Exactly.
I mean, but TJ supposed to be a scorer and a player, but he just can't stay healthy now. And I'm not knocking that man because since Kwame Brown came out, man, I'm not calling nobody in the NBA a bust, a bum, or nothing. I'm just up here talking from what I see. You know what I'm saying? Because Kwame quite kind of right. I mean, if they made it to the league, evidently they're not a bum.
Yeah, they're not a bust if you make it to the league. So, and of course, all of them can beat me. So,
we're
not calling them out on that.
Right, we're not gonna call them out.
I could definitely recognize the nuances in the league. And, the tiers of players and where they are. And of course, we seen it happen with people like Derrick Rose in his career. He doing great things up there with the Knicks right now, but you see all-time great talent kind of get sidelined by injuries and the body not being able to keep up with what they're doing. So,
Greg Oden, he come to mind too.
Yeah, definitely.
No telling what could have been down there in Portland. I mean, while we talking about Portland, but that past Portland team with Brandon Roy, Oden, I think LaMarcus Aldridge had just come in. He was a young guy. Did they have Zach Randolph then? or was that after? I can't quite remember, but like I said, injuries can happen to anybody. And like I said, Kwame Brown done stopped me with that bus and bum word. He went in, boy. Maybe I can get a sports talk going with that maybe sometime.
Yeah,
but
we just gotta make sure we be careful. With
yeah,
how
but you
Kwame,
better be.
I don't want him
You
on my
better
top.
be. Shit, I'm talking about. He said he'll get you with 3 eyes.
You know that boy from South Georgia.
Yeah, right. But he stood up for himself, and he about right. After 10, 20 years, I'm a grown man. Quit playing with me.
Exactly.
Quit playing with me. But we our last series here, the LA Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks jumped out 2 games. Luka looked unstoppable, but LA done came roaring back. Kawhi and Paul George stepping their game up. What you think about that series?
I think it's gonna go down to 7 just like it did last year. The interesting thing is no matter who you put in the uniform, the Clippers still gonna be the Clippers. So
yeah.
they might make it out this round like I think they did last year, and then ultimately was a disappointment as a team. What's real interesting looking at the Clippers is Kawhi ain't got to come back after this year. He's
right.
on a 2-year deal, so the Clippers could be left on the hook for a lot of money with the stars they did sign. Then they could lose Paul George. It gave up a lot of draft picks, so that should be interesting. Though.
I heard some rumblings saying that Pat Riley might go after him and send him to Miami. I mean, try to get him to come to Miami because they say Pat Riley is totally unhappy with the Miami Heat losing 4 straight and getting swept. He wants to change the roster.
Well, I think Pat definitely want to end his career with a championship, bring another one to Miami. The only thing that would scare me about him going after Kawhi is Pat didn't go after Harden. Like I know I mentioned earlier.
Right.
Pat did not come up off of Tyler Hero, which I understand Tyler Hero is a young, exciting player on the come up, but you got James Harden.
I don't think Tyler Hero. He could be the next Chandler Park. What his name was? Chandler Parson. Yeah, come on, man. You had 1 or 2 good years, and in free agency you got all that money and.
But you got.
I'm not calling him a bum or a bust.
But you got a chance to get James Harden for Tyler Hero. I think you should.
I think you go ahead and pull that trigger. Harden still got a couple of more good years left in him.
And back to what you were saying about them trying to get Kawhi. I think the thing that would lead any team with caution right now as far as Kawhi is his ability to stay on the court. Like we just talked about with injuries.
I think it's more toward his attitude of being on the court when he have like nagging injuries. Cause I think that's what happened down in San Antonio. They felt like he could play on that hamstring, and a second opinion said he couldn't. So he felt like they was forcing him on the floor when he wasn't ready. So he wanted to get traded.
I mean, and a lot of coming back from injury is the mental part of it as well. Right. You got to feel confident that when you jump up, you're gonna come down the same way and not tweak something, not further damage something. And I can see his concern. This is my career. This is my livelihood right now. So I want to take caution with that. But I would say that we went from a low management year with the Clippers last year. And this year they just straight up been leaving him out the lineup due to injury. We saw him kind of had a trouble with the Raptors with the knee. So if I was any team, if I was the GM. Okay,
once again we back. Again technical difficulties, and our producer brother Josh slammed the door, but we're gonna try to keep going. Johnathan, I want to thank you for coming to the show, man.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Yeah, man. Anytime I catch y'all down here, the first thing I say, you want to do a podcast?
Anytime.
I know y'all get tired of that, but this is my thing, man. I kind of enjoy doing it. I need to get back to doing my audio. You know what I'm saying? My audio, strictly audio version, but hopefully we'll get this one uploaded tonight. Who you think gonna win?
It's kind of hard to call. I got to see how it shake out. Of course, however injuries go, but. I'm kind of pulling with whoever come from the East. Like I said earlier, I am a KD fan, so I would like to see him get another ring with Brooklyn. But it just feel like whoever come out of the East, whether that's the 76ers, whether that's the Bucks, gonna have a little too much size for the Lakers this year. If it's the Nets, they're gonna have a little too much scoring power. Because to be honest, yeah, the Suns might upset the Lakers, but I just see the Lakers coming out the West.
I don't know. It get kind of crazy in the finals, man. Like, I didn't expect Miami to win 2 games in the bubble.
Yeah,
I didn't expect them to win 2 games against the Lakers last year. The Bucks, they looking sharp this year. Like Brother Brew elaborated on last time, they added Holiday.
Oh yeah,
at point guard, at the point guard position, but I still think they need more shooters around Giannis. That's just me, but they finally got over the first round hump, and I think it's gonna be inevitable that it's either them, the Sixers, or Brooklyn come out of the East.
Mm-hmm.
I like Brooklyn because of the 3 stars. I mean, who gonna bet against a team that has James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant?
Too much firepower.
Yeah, that's just too much firepower. So I'm gonna ride Brooklyn to take it all. You know, since my Knicks all on the ropes. Shouts out to my nephew Algernon in the studio throwing things while we trying to be serious, but it's okay. We're gonna keep going. Got any parting shots you want to send out? Getting ready to get out of here.
Nah, I mean, I just want the NBA. I want the NBA season to end on a high note. I know this still ain't the season we used to. Just wanted to be entertaining. So hopefully these first round sweeps, kind of die down. We don't see that in the second round, and just start to see where teams are completely overmatched. And it's get down to an inevitable Lakers versus whoever come out of the West. So hopefully we get some good series. Everybody stay healthy, keep a good basketball game going.
True that. Me personally, I think it's good. They starting to open back up now. Everybody supposed to be at almost max capacity for the playoffs. The electricity is back in the building because, like I said, it's more like a rec league title for that title. But I understand they don't want to go a year without a title, and I understand that exceptions had to be made, but I mean it was kind of rec league-ish. Nobody in the gym, players that you didn't expect to be good was good.
Oh yeah, everybody
without the crowd and this and that. But overall, it's been a pretty good season for the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Nikola Jokic, my MVP. Who's yours?
I might have to go to Embiid. Especially with the injuries.
You don't think he missed too much time?
See, the thing with the MVP with me, especially in the league this day and age, I don't really think you can hold it too much time. Like, he was there the majority of the season. He didn't miss majority of the season. He missed significant games, but just to kind of see the things that he doing up there with the 76ers, I don't know. I like Embiid. I guess my second MVP would have been Curry.
Yeah. If he'd have made the playoffs, I probably would have felt a little better about saying that. But I even thought Donovan Mitchell should have been in the discussion. The best player on the best team. That was always the rule of thumb for back in the day. But we getting ready to get out of here. And Johnathan, we was talking off the show. He's planning on trying to stick with me the rest of the playoffs.
Oh yeah. We're gonna be back.
We're gonna try to get you a show once a week. We could do it via online like we did with Bruce. Maybe we can get him to come back and have him and Johnathan join and give some insight on what they see while they're following the playoffs this year. But this is RM Gambini. That's Johnathan Jet Davis, and you know how we end the show. Peace and prosperity.